and we have other alternatives. But what we're doing now is the best, the strongest, the fastest, the easiest, the least complicated.
Sir, if you move ahead with the Greenland-related tariffs on Europe, you secured almost $1 trillion of commitments from them to invest in the United States. Does that go kaput out the window if that happens?
I doubt it. Look, they need that agreement very badly with us. They really do. They fought very hard to get it, so I doubt that. But we'll see what happens. We have a lot of meetings scheduled on Greenland. I'm leaving tonight, as you know, for Davos. And we have a lot of meetings scheduled on Greenland. And I think things are going to work out pretty well, actually.
Thank you, Mr. President. Will you still go to Paris for the G7 emergency meeting as offered by President Macron?
No, I wouldn't do that. No. Because, you know, Emmanuel's not going to be there very long. And you know, there's no longevity there. He's a friend of mine. He's a nice guy. I like Macron, but he's not going to be there very much longer, as you know. And I think, you know, I have meetings with the people that are directly involved, not some of the people you're talking about.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. Happy New Year.
I've never seen this room like this. Is this a celebration of the first year?
Yes.
Have you ever seen it? I've never seen this many. I hope we have a very good. I hope we have a very good structural floor. You know, this used to be a swimming pool. You're sitting over a swimming pool. I could see that happening. But we need a good structure here, don't we? Huh? Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. Happy 1 year anniversary.
Thank you.
And my question is on Syria. The Kurds, as the most loyal U.S. partners, facing attacks by some Syrian elements within the Syrian government. Will you do to ensure the Kurdish rights protected and their effective forces against terrorism in Rojava, Syria continued, as the Kurdish see you as a president does not abandon his allies?
Well, I like the Kurds, but just so you understand, the Kurds were paid tremendous amounts of money, were given oil and other things, so they were doing it for themselves, more so than they were doing it for us, but we got along with the Kurds, and we are trying to protect the Kurds. That's correct.
Ahead of your speech in Davos, can you give us a preview of what we can expect as far as, you know, laying out the plans for Americans to be able to buy homes?
I think more than anything else, what I'm going to be speaking about is the tremendous success that we've had in 1 year. I didn't think we could do it this fast. Think of it, it's just now 12 months, and you know, I say it often, we have the most successful country in the world. We have the hottest country anywhere in the world by far, and this country would have been absolutely stone cold dead. And I'm going to be talking about it. I'm going to be, because, you know, a lot of them could use some of the advice as to what we did. They need energy. You take a look at their energy policy, they're going to destroy themselves with what they're doing with the windmills and all the nonsense. They need energy help badly, or they're going to be in big trouble, and they need immigration help badly. How much longer do you want to go?
Yes, call it.
I do. I have a very important call with President Erdogan, who I like a lot. One or two more questions. Go ahead.
Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. President. During
Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
One question about
Red. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. President.
The red blouse. Go ahead.
You talked a lot at the beginning of this about the economy, some positive economic indicators. Polling shows a majority of Americans don't feel the economy is doing well. Are you worried you're making the same mistake as President Biden?
No, I hope I don't make the same mistake as him. Look, I inherited a terrible, it's a great question, because we inherited a terrible, terrible mess. Between the border, between all the problems, the whole country was falling apart. And in 12 months, less than 12 months, in 12 months, we have the strongest border we've ever had. We have prices that are much, much lower than they were for the last time. We inherited very high prices. We inherited, remember this, inflation was at a historic high. We had never had inflation like that. They say 48 years, but whether it's 48 years or ever, we had the highest inflation, in my opinion, that we've ever had. Prices, because of that, were very high. I inherited, we brought down eggs immediately. Remember the first news conference, they were screaming at me about eggs. I was in the position for 2 days, and we brought eggs down to lower than what they were before. And by the way, they continue that way. We brought the prices down from when I came into office and from what Biden had, way down. We're going to bring them down further. But the job we did is a miracle. One of the reasons I'm doing this today is to explain. We inherited a mess, and we've made it a beautiful, beautiful picture. Think of gasoline at $1.99 in many states. $1.99 a gallon. It was $4.50, $5. In some cases, $6 or $7. We're at $1.99. And energy is so big that with energy, everything else comes down. But the prices are coming way down, and we're going to bring them down further. But we started up here with these guys. We inherited a country that was broken. We inherited a country, and I have a very warm spot. We've done very well with Venezuela. And by the way, that even in itself is going to help us bring down the oil prices. I mean, the Venezuelan oil, we've taken 50 million gallons of oil. We've taken 50 million barrels of oil out of Venezuela in the first 4 days. We've got millions of barrels of oil left. We're selling it on the open market. We're bringing down oil prices incredibly. And when they come down, and they've already come down, again, $1.99 a gallon for oil. Nobody thought they'd ever see it. All right, one or two more. Go. Yes.
President,
Yes.
I want to ask you about Iran. Is the military option still on the table? And can you assure us that the killing in Iran has stopped? And when regard to the Peace Council, which members have to pay $1
So with
billion?
Iran, are you from Iran?
No, I cover the White House.
Where are you from?
I'm Palestinian American.
So with Iran, they were going to hang 837 people, and I let them be known that, and we let them know that if that happens, that will be a very bad day for them. And they decided not to do it. They didn't hang the people. I can't tell you what's going to happen in the future, but supposedly they've taken that off the table. But they were going to, last week, they were going to hang on Thursday or Wednesday. They were going to hang, I think, 837 people, and they didn't hang anybody. So we're just going to have to see what happens with Iran. Is the military option off the table?
Thank you, Mr. President. President Trump.
Thank you, President
Go
Trump.
ahead, please.
Thank you, Mr.
Congratulations on your
President.
first year.
Go ahead, I'll take your question.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you,
Go
Mr.
ahead,
President.
right here.
Thank you, Mr. President. You promised during your second inaugural to always put America first. I'm curious, how would you winning the Nobel Peace Prize improve the lives of average, everyday Americans? Why is this prize so important?
It wouldn't improve the lives of any, but what improved the lives of people are people that are living. I saved probably tens of millions of lives in the wars. You know, if you add up the numbers, just if you look at any one of those wars, you're talking about millions of people. You multiply it times 8. But when you look at India and Pakistan, that could have been 10, 15, 20 million people. Could have been more than that. So I saved millions of people. So that, to me, is the big thing. What?
You suggested a moment ago that perhaps the reason why a positive story about the economy isn't getting through is because of, bad communications people. But are average Americans wrong to still feel high prices? And how much longer does the White House hope that they?
So I think
will
a
stay
lot of people are listening to the fake news a little bit. And I'm not blaming anybody. I think I blame ourselves. I think we've done a much better job than we're able to promote. We're not promoting. We're doing a great job, and we're sort of letting the promotion take care of itself. One of the reasons I'm doing this news conference, I think it's important. We have taken a mess and made it really good. It's going to get even better. But if you look at prices from a year or a year and a half ago, you look at the Biden prices, they were way up through the sky. And, they use the word affordability. They just say affordability, and they don't talk about it. They created the affordability problem, and we are solving it. We have solved a lot of it. Again, everybody agrees in this room, I think, gasoline prices have come per gallon way down. When that happens, everything else comes down. But they've come down way down. Many of the groceries have come way down. It's all happening, and it's happening strong. But if you go back a year and a half, 2 years, take a look at those prices and look at the prices now.
President of Venezuela, you made a condition.
Where are you from?
I'm from Spain.
Nice place.
Thank you. You made a condition that the political prisoners should be freed. It seems that they are not being as fast as they promised in the beginning. Would that be an issue for the current government?
They've agreed that they're going to let, I guess, most of them out. Depends on what they did, but they have released a lot of. Released a lot of political prisoners in Venezuela.
Mr. President, earlier on last year, you had indicated that you wanted to take back the Panama Canal. I know we've heard a lot about Greenland. Is that still on the table?
I don't want to tell you that. Sort of. I must say, sort of. That's sort of. Okay, one more. Yes, blonde, blue. Yes, go ahead, ma'am. Go ahead with the blue, holding the computer.
If a consequence of your determination to take control of Greenland is the ultimate breakup of the NATO alliance, is that a price you're willing to pay?
You mean the breakup of very interesting
NATO alliance?
question. So I think something's going to happen that's going to be very good for everybody. Nobody's done more for NATO than I have, as I said before, in every way. Getting them to go up to 5% of GDP was something that nobody thought was possible, and pay. At 2%, they weren't paying. At 5%, they are paying. And they're buying a lot of things from us, and they're giving them, I guess, to Ukraine. That's up to them, but they're giving them to whoever they're giving them to, but they're buying a lot. I think that we will work something out where NATO is going to be very happy and where we're going to be very happy. But we need it for security purposes. We need it for national security and even world security. It's very important. How about it?
Thank you very much. First of all, last year you told me that you believe that the reason you won the election is because God put you in this place so that you could save the world. Looking back 1 year, do you feel like God is proud of the effort that you've put in?
I do, actually. I think God is very proud of the job I've done, and that includes for religion. You know, we're protecting a lot of people that are being killed, Christians and Jewish people, and lots of people are being protected by me that wouldn't be protected by another type of president. No, I think a lot of people are very proud of the job we've done. We've had an amazing year. This has been one of the greatest years. Even some people that wouldn't necessarily love me instinctively, they're saying this was an incredible year. We've had an incredible year economically. Look at our border. Our border was a disaster. People pouring. It was an invasion into our country of a lot of very bad people. Good people too, but a lot of very bad people from prisons and drug dealers and gangs and horrible people, murderers, thousands and thousands of murderers allowed into our country. And we now have the strongest border of any country. There's probably not a country, I guess North Korea has a pretty strong border, by the way, but there's not a country in the world that has a border like we do. And we took it from the worst border. We had the worst border in the world. Now we have one of the strongest borders in the world. One more question.
Mr. President, you said you're confident something's going to get worked out in Greenland, but Greenlanders have made it clear they don't want to be part of the U.S.
Well,
what gives the U.S. the right to take away that self-determination?
When I speak to them, I'm sure they'll be thrilled.
Mr. President,
are you committed to keeping the U.S. in NATO?
I've had such a good relationship. I've made it so much better, so much stronger. It's so good now. NATO is so much stronger now. I don't agree with a lot of the things they've done, but that was done before I got there. I think NATO's been good. Sometimes it's overrated, sometimes it's not. But we have a strong NATO. When I came here, we had a weak NATO. We had a NATO at 2%, and they weren't paying. You had a nothing NATO. NATO's, whether you like it or not, it's only as good as we are. If NATO doesn't have us, NATO is not very strong.
Thank you.
Yes, no, behind you, please.
Thank you, President Trump.
Yes, go ahead.
Greatly appreciate it, sir. We heard a long list of accomplishments from the last year. Could you cherry pick the top 3? And then looking forward, what are your 3 most important priorities in 2026?
So I think the building of a really powerful military has been a great achievement, and that would include the Venezuela thing. That would include the attack on Iran and the wiping out of the nuclear threat. I think that's been really amazing what we've done militarily. I think what we've done in business has been incredible. We have $18 trillion coming in. Plants are being built all over. Thousands of plants are being built all over the country. 18 trillion is a record. No country has ever come anywhere even close to that. I think that's a record. And I think that most favored nations for drugs is something that nobody thought they'd be able to get. Tariffs helped me there because the nations would have never gone along with it if I wasn't able to say, if you don't go along with it, we're going to put a 10 or a 15 or a 20% tariff on your nation. And they went along. And our drug prices are going to come down at numbers never even seen before, never even thought possible before. So those would be 3 things. Thank you. Thank you all very much. Thank you.
अमरीकी सदर डोनाल्ड ट्रंप व्हाइट हाउस में सहाफ़ियों के सवालात के जवाबात दे रहे थे और उनका ये कहना था कि पाक भारत जंग में 8 तैयारे गिराए गए। वज़ीर आज़म शहबाज शरीफ ने कहा कि आपने करोड़ों जानें बचाईं। बरतानिया और फ्रांस के रहनुमाओं से अच्छे ताल्लुकात हैं। डोनाल्ड ट्रंप ने कहा कि बरतानिया और फ्रांस की क़यादत के साथ हम आहंगी है। साबिक़ वेनेज़ुएला के सदर मादुरो से जेल में मुलाकात करने में दिलचस्पी नहीं रखते। बोर्ड ऑफ पीस को अक़वाम मुत्तहिदा का मुतबादिल बनाने का इरादा नहीं है। अमरीकी सदर ने कहा कि अक़वाम मुत्तहिदा को अपना काम जारी रखने देना चाहिए। पेरिस में होने वाले G7 इजलास में शिरकत नहीं करेंगे। कुर्दों की हिफाजत की कोशिश जारी है। अमरीकी सदर ने कहा कि ईरान में 837 अफराद को फांसी दी गई। ईरान से कहा मज़ीद फांसियाँ हुई तो फ़ौजी ऑप्शन मौजूद है। पाक भारत जंग में लाखों लोग मर सकते थे। मैंने पाक भारत जंग रुकवाई। अमरीकी सदर ने कहा कि पाक भारत जंग ना रुकती तो 10 से 20 मिलियन लोग मारे जाते। हम वेनेज़ुएला से 50 मिलियन बैरल तेल ले चुके हैं। रूस यूक्रेन जंग के खात्मे की कोशिश कर रहे हैं।
आइए चलते हैं प्रोग्राम के बकिया हिस्से की तरफ।
तंग कर रहा है, जो चीज इनके साथ मुंसलिक है, जो चीज इनके साथ लिंक करती है, वहां खैबर पख्तूनख्वा के लोगों को जलील किया जा रहा है। पहले इन्होंने
तो तहसीलदार का ताल्लुक तो
तहसीलदार बेचारा तो हम 1:30 बजे तक बैठा होता है।
अच्छा,
इन्होंने टोकन देना होता है नादरा से, वहां पे एक एंट्री होती है, उसके लिए कभी सिस्टम बैठ जाता है, कभी इंटरनेट काम करना छोड़ देता है। उसके बावजूद फिर हमने मैनुअल उनको टोकन देना शुरू कर दिया है। लेकिन बात बड़ी सिंपल है मीर साहब, ये देखिए ये आइन की भी खिलाफ वर्जी हो रही है। सूबाई हुकूमत को आप एतमाद में लिए बगैर, उसके परमिशन के बगैर,
आज वजीर कह रहा है पार्लियामेंट हाउस में खड़ा हो गया, भाई ये सूबाई हुकूमत की मुशावरत से हुआ है।
झूठ बोल रहे हैं, गलत बयानी कर रहा है। कोई नहीं कि अब कोई बंदा भी उठ के असेंबली फ्लोर पे मैं उठ के कुछ भी कह दूंगा, क्या उसको मान लिया जाएगा? क्या सबूत है इनके पास?
वो तमाम तर चीजें एड्रेस हुई हैं। आज असद कैसर साहब ने उन तमाम चीजों को एड्रेस किया, उसके बाद फिर शहरियार अफरीदी साहब ने एड्रेस किया।
एक मिनट, असद कैसर साहब का आपने जिक्र किया
जी।
असद कैसर साहब बताएंगे क्या कह रहे हैं?
मैं ऑफर देता हूं, मैं अभी ऑफर देता हूं, आपको ऑफर देता हूं। आप पीटीआई को छोड़ो, केपीके से आपकी जितनी लीडरशिप है, वो एनपी की लीडरशिप हो, जमीयत उलमा इस्लाम की लीडरशिप हो, वो पीपल पार्टी की लीडरशिप हो या सीनियर लीडरशिप हो, उनका जरगा बनाए, उससे मशवरा करे, उसके मुताबिक जाए। इसमें चीफ मिनिस्टर साहब मैं कमिटमेंट करता हूं कि चीफ मिनिस्टर साहब भी आएगा, स्पीकर के असम्बली भी आएगा, तमाम पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज की जो लीडरशिप उसको बुलाओ और उससे पूछो तुम्हारे क्या मसाइल है। ये बैठ के क्या पता है इसको तो एक पर्ची मिलती है और उस पर्ची में एक तकरीर मिलती है और तकरीर में जबान माशाल्लाह इतना है
जी। ये खैर सख्त अल्फाज है। मैं जाहिर बात है गैर पार्लिमानी गुफ्तगू भी बीच में कोई ऐसे अल्फाज भी आ गए, लेकिन अलबत्ता अब लॉजिक क्या है? मेरे भाई शफी की लॉजिक ये है कि 4 लाख रुपया उस वक्त हुकूमत ने बताया और अभी जो है इन्होंने मुख्तस किया, उन्होंने कहा कि 4 लाख में कौन सा घर बनता है।
वो भी बात की,
वो भी नहीं दी है। ये इनकी एलिगेशन है। लेकिन उसके साथ अभी ये कह रहे हैं कि जो इंटरनली डिस्प्लेस या आईडीपीज हैं, उन लोगों की नकल मकाने के लिए हम उनको 2.5 लाख रुपए दे रहे हैं। 2.5 लाख में कौन सा घर बनता है?
घर तो नहीं बना रहे, वो तो इसलिए दे रहे हैं कि नीचे उनको सेटल करना है। जब वापस जाएंगे जो नुकसान होगा वो तो आप भरेंगे नहीं, हम ही भरेंगे।
मैं तो जाहिर बात
जो 2.5 नहीं, आप गलत कर रहे हैं।
आपको 1% एक्स्ट्रा मिला आज तमाम तर जो आप जो देखे ना, एक जो बहुत मीर साहब गलत बयानी से
आप गलत बयानी कर रहे हैं।
अच्छा, मेरा ख्याल है कि इख्तिलाफ राय करें।
एक मिनट, एनएफसी का इन्होंने जिक्र किया, में जो 1% मिल रहा है ना, वो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर में जो चीज़ें तबाह हुई उसके लिए मिल रहा है। वो भी 3% पे जाना था, वो भी ये नहीं बढ़ा रहे।
अच्छा, अब आपको पता है कि ये जो आपका मसला है तिरा में जो लोग घर छोड़ के बाहर निकले हैं, इसका ताल्लुक भी कराची के साथ बन रहा है, नहीं पता ना आपको? वक्फे के बाद दोबारा मिलते हैं।
मैंने ना जरा डिसेंट सी शादी करनी है, डिसेंट से कपल लगने चाहिए हम। मुझे ना वो आतिशबाजी बड़ी अच्छी लगती है।
पाकीज़ा जी,
मुझे माफ कर दे, हमें जाने दे, हमें छोड़ दे।
पूरे शहर में 2 टके की इज्जत करती है हमारी। कुछ होता मर जाती मेरे हाथों।
एक तरफ तो मुझे सहन में दफना रहे थे, दूसरी तरफ मेरा निकाह ही पढ़वा दी।
आपको कबूल है? कबूल है, कबूल है।
लोग भूल जाएंगे, उन्हें याद भी नहीं रहेंगे कोई पाकिस्तान भी थी।
इतनी आसानी से दुनिया को भूलने नहीं दूंगी मैं फराज। साथ लहर दे।
देखिए एक और पाकीज़ा बुध और जुमेरात की रात 8 बजे सिर्फ जियो पर।
कैपिटल टॉक में दोबारा खुशामदीद। नाज बलोच साहबा, पता नहीं आपको मालूम है या नहीं मालूम, लेकिन मुझे ये पता चला है कि तिरा के जो लोग हैं, बहुत से लोग जो हैं वो तो पर्चियाँ लेके भाग रहे हैं ना, इधर उधर जा रहे हैं कि 2.5 लाख रुपया मिल जाए। जो लोग थोड़े से साहब हैसियत हैं, उनको 2.5 लाख की ज़रूरत नहीं है, वो अपनी पूरी की पूरी फैमिली लेके कराची रवाना हो गए हैं, कुछ पहुंच भी गए हैं। तो